Hi, Loy from loymachedo.com, and it was loymachedo.com. Time right now is 6:52. The date is the 5th of September 2014. Now, the review of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2014. All right, a friend of mine invited me to just watch it, and I decided, okay, fine, why not? And I have to agree what the movie critic Simon Abrams had to say. He said that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles kind of reminds us that nostalgia is often used as a mandate for spectacularly lazy filmmaking. And this is exactly what, this is the first impression, or rather, the overall impression you would get once you watch this movie, because it is obvious that today's CGI is pretty much more advanced than what it used to be in the 1980s. So it's no surprise that you see so many of these movies getting a reboot. However, you begin to think that and ask yourself, when would it be that movie houses would realize that no amount of CGI, no amount of effects, no amount of creative enhancements in the digital version can ever replace great storytelling, an amazing plot, and a director with an amazing vision. Now, this is where TMNT fails miserably. The 3 points that I managed to garner as to why this movie fails. The first one is the underlying story itself is absurd. You have Megan Fox, who's April. She wants to be taken seriously as a journalist. So what she does is she decides to, do something which nobody else does. That is investigate the gun-carrying, crime-spreading, fear-stomping Foot Clan. So she decides to chase them. And by some coincidence, she's at the right place at the right time. And then if that is not weird enough, she discovers that she was the person who was responsible for saving the turtles, and her father was responsible for giving these turtles a superpower. So wow, what a coincidence. The second part is the fact that Michael Bay is the producer of this movie. So when you take the name Michael Bay, you obviously know any action movie would be aka Transformers. Everything would look like Transformers, be like Transformers, and replicate its feel of Transformers. You have director Jonathan Liebesman, who is from the Wrath of the Titans and Battle LA. He gets everything too fast, too loud, too soon, and it's just right in your face, where the action sequence just doesn't make sense. Then the ending. Well, the ending itself reminded me of Spider-Man and Superman. What is it? Something big from the building is falling down, and you have the superhero who's trying to save the city from all the debris. So you also had TMNT, that is the turtles, saving the city from this big, huge antenna that was falling down. And if you add up some little bit more of cheesy dialogues in the end, this makes your life even more miserable. A couple of trivias that I discovered. One was Megan Fox's hair was perfectly done for the role. At every scene, her hair was absolutely well done. She didn't have any problems with her hairdo, and her outfits were perfect. Even with all the action sequence, she started her day in any shot, any scene with her hair perfectly done. So that was really nice. The second part was the brand placement for Toshiba, AT&T, and Pizza Hut was done well. I especially like the way Pizza Hut was kind of branded and shown on the screen. Especially if you see the trailer, you see Toshiba, big board, so Toshiba must have paid a lot of money for this. So the moment of truth. Now, if you compare the TMNT of the 80s and you compare them of today, you notice that they look like they kind of had a high juice on steroids or something. They really, really were juiced up. They're really a beefier. So, and they're more like a badass kind of a version. And the 80s, if you compare, they're kind of cute. They were kind of cuddly. They were like toys. However, the 2014 version kind of gives you a brainless version for, it's like an adrenaline junkie feel for teenagers and kids. In fact, there was this kid who was just sitting and telling his dad, "See, Daddy, nothing happened." So it's a movie only for kids and youngsters. The CGI, there's too much of CGI, but there's very less characterization, and I would just conclude by saying that if you're bored, do yourself a favor, don't watch it, because at the end you'll just be slapping your head and say, what a cowabunga of a story. So, had to put that cheesy bit at the end. So anyway, this is Loy from loymachedo.com giving you a 2 out of 10 for the movie that is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. If you think differently, let me know. I'd love to know your views. Goodbye for now.